All right, day traders. It's April 25th, 2019. I just got finished with the day, and I have three trades I'm going to show you. One was a losing trade, one was basically a push trade, and the other was a winning trade. And I'll show you how I got into them and why I got into them. And I'll show you the scans that they popped up on. I use Trade Ideas, which is scanning software, which every day trader should have if you're going to seriously day trade for a living. You can't really do without it. It's like casting a wide net, when you're fishing. If you're not using Trade Ideas, you're basically just fishing with a fishing pole, and you might occasionally get, catch a fish here and there, but you're not going to get enough to make it worth your while if you're trying to do it for a living. So if you're going to do it professionally, Trade Ideas, you need it. And this was a stock that I actually didn't get into, and I wanted to short it. And Meritor. It popped up, I think, in my gapping scan. And you can see yesterday it was right here, this little yellow doji here. And it didn't really, actually might not have been in my gapping scan because it looks like it didn't gap much. It just kind of gapped a tiny bit down. But yeah, you know what? It showed up in my low, new lows for the day scan. And you can see why, because it was making new lows here right off the bat. And I put a little marker where I wanted to get in right here because it was failing to break back above VWAP. So I wanted to, this purple line's VWAP. So I wanted to get in here at 24.11. Put basically probably like a 15-cent stop on it, maybe not even. And look what happened from 24.11. It went all the way down here to about to 23.69. So basically a 42 cent short. And then it kind of rose back up to VWAP. You can see there's a little pivot point here, and it went right back down. So you could have shorted it twice. You could have shorted it here, waited to see what it did, and then all this consolidation, you probably should have just gotten out because you don't know what's going to happen after that. Comes back to VWAP, shows that it's not going to break back above VWAP, and comes back down again. So you could have shorted it from like 23.89 down to 23.63. Not a tremendous, drop, 25 cents or so. But still, you could have just done it twice today and you would have been fine. But I just didn't get into it. I couldn't pull the trigger. The first trade I made, I broke one of my rules, which is I really never trade within the first 30 minutes of the day. And not only did I break that rule, I actually traded within the first 15 minutes, which I really shouldn't. I should just not even log in until 45 minutes into the day. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to set stuff up, but it would prevent me from day trading when I shouldn't. So I got in here at 9:41 at this HMI, which this was a gapper that showed up in my pre-market. I think it was my pre-market, yeah, because it gapped. And I'll show you why. Yeah, see, so this was yesterday. This big red candle down through the 200 simple moving average on a daily chart, and then look, it opened up down here. So big gap down. And then a big green bar to start the day, another green bar with a little tail on it above VWAP. So I said, all right, maybe this is going to have a little surge and bridge that gap here, fill that void a little bit. And what happened, I got in, and of course this is a pretty significant whole number, double digit 10, it goes from, anytime you have a whole number, it could be resistance or support, basically anything like intervals of 10, that's a significant resistance point. And so look at that, the height right here, you can see at the bottom here, the height of this candle is 10. I should have scalped some out. I didn't have many shares because when I trade this early, I usually don't use that many shares. And I just held on to it, and big red bar down after that, and I just got out here. I said, I'm out. I got in at 87. I think I got out at 77. So just 10-cent loss, nothing serious. And then you can see it went back up again, got above 10, then came back down. So this is just an ugly. I don't know why I trade this. I should just avoid these. I'd probably be making a lot more money if I just avoided trading in the first 30 minutes altogether, and certainly the first 15 minutes. I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've been successful in this calendar year trading in the first 15 minutes, because I just don't do it very, very often at all, and even when I do, it's not very successful. So it's just a stupid trade, but a minor loss. It was just a tiny loss, so it wasn't a big deal. So my second trade was Borg Warner, the auto parts. Now this one also, this had a big down day. I think it gapped. We'll technically kind of gapped. This is yesterday, gapped up. This is the end of the day yesterday right here, 43.62. So it gapped up a little bit, but then I had a big down day. I think it was earnings today. I'm not sure. So you can see it was down, and then you can see below VWAP, broke above VWAP, failed it. And now I got in because I saw it break above VWAP again. So this showed up in my gapping scan as well as my VWAP axis scan, another scan that I've talked about in other videos, where looks for stocks down on the day and then coming back up through VWAP. Now this broke VWAP once and then it broke it again, and that's why I took interest. When it breaks that VWAP a second time, usually that's pretty significant. So you see I got in here at 42, what did I get in at? 42.08. But then I just got a little nervous because, as you see here on this 15-minute chart, this blue line is a 10 EMA, exponential moving average, and that can be a big resistance. And when I got in, it was just below it, and then it kind of looked like it might not break above this. I got a little red candle here, and that's about where I got out. I just wasn't comfortable with the way it was moving. It didn't look right to me, so I got out here at 42.13. So basically 5 cents exactly gain. So essentially a push. I mean, 100 shares, it's $5, so you can't basically write that off to a push. And then you can see I was kind of right, because eventually it drifted back down and then broke below VWAP again. And then tried to break it back up again, and then broke down. So it just had nothing going for it today. I just like the fact that whenever it breaks VWAP a second time with a little volume, and you can see the volume died, that's another reason why I should have just avoided it, or gotten out early, which I did. You know, just not an ideal one to trade, but you know, I managed it correctly. I waited a half an hour, which I usually try to do before making any movements on my stops. And then I just said I'm out altogether. So didn't really make much on that, but you know, I avoided a loss. So but the one that I did do well on, which showed up in my gappers as well, was Masco Corp, building materials. So this was you can see this was another gapper. This is yesterday, and it gapped down here, and then it dropped significantly. So it started the day red, went below VWAP, dropped down, bottomed out here, and then started making its way back up. If I had been paying attention here, I probably could have taken a long here when it broke back above 38, because you could have ridden it back up to 38.79, which would have been you know, about a 75 cents gain if you can gotten in the right time. Then it topped out there and started fading back to VWAP. So I was watching it here because the reason, this is where I start to look at the 8 EMA and the 20 SMA, which is another 5-minute chart I have. Now this is usually on shorts. I like to look at this more than anything. So it broke back up, it crossed here, but look how it distanced itself from the 8 EMA. It wasn't really riding it, right? So it got too far away, and then it started to regress back to it. Got below the 8 EMA, this is that orangey yellow line here, and then used that as resistance, right? So I was watching it basically stay below that, and that's when I got in at about 38.34. Did I get in? Yeah, 38.34. Got in. You can see it had a quick little drop down to about 38.25. Came back up, but look, couldn't get above the 8 EMA. Dropped back down again, and I got out. My first target was 38.12. I said if it hits that, I'm out. It was only a 22-cent gain, but you know, I was happy with that. That's all I needed to stay positive on the day after the first trade that I made. So basically, just a quick little, not a scalp, but a quick little trade: 38.44 to 38.12, or 38.34 to 38.12. Then you can see it kind of went sideways a little. Couldn't break that 8 EMA, right? This might have been a time for a re-entry. Big green bar here, or green bar here, then a red bar here. So buyers trying to bring it up, couldn't. Sellers kept it down. Buyers tried one more time to bring it up, couldn't. Sellers right in here. I should have probably shorted again here at 38.11 or 10, right where I kind of got out. Because look at this, all the way down to 37.67. Now from my initial entry at 38.34, that's a pretty nice drop, right? That's over 60 cents. It's almost 75 cents at this point. Or I think it is 75 cents. Yeah. So no, it's not. I'm sorry. I can't add. So basically, yeah, it had a nice little turn down here, and it was using. This is why I like this 8 EMA and the 20 SMA. When these are moving nice and smoothly together, usually you can get in nice and comfortably and just use that as your stop. I think when I got in here, I put it at 38.45 and just kept moving it down, and then finally I got out at 38.12. So kind of wish I stayed in a little bit more, because you can see that. I had a nice little run going for it, and still half an hour left in the day. But yeah, that was it. And the other reason too is you can see here on this 15-minute chart, a little big topping tail here once it reached the 10 EMA on this 15-minute chart. Each one of these candles 15 minutes. Big topping tail here, and then a red candle, right? And that's about where I got in. Well, what time did I get in? I got in at 12:40. So it was a little later than that. I was watching it coast down here below the 10 EMA. So that, I think I got in right here, and then a nice little drop after that. So yeah, so that was a good trade. Pretty nice and easy and smooth. I think this might have been an earnings play. I'm not sure, but it certainly was a gapper. You could see that from the yesterday's gap down from here to here. So I'm still hoping to do some live streaming, live stream some of my trade idea scans. If you're interested in trade ideas, you should definitely give it a look. It's definitely worth it if you're thinking of seriously doing day trading for a living. Can't do without it really. So that was it. Those are the 3 trades, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow on Friday to show you some more trades that I've taken. And if not, maybe I'll have some live stream of my scans up soon. All right. Good luck, and see you next time.